Hopefully we've got the chat sorted this time. If you were with me a little earlier, we were trying to work out how to get the chat on point. Yep, perfect, that's a bit more like it. So welcome back. If you were with me this morning talking about golf, just try to get the chat in the right spot. Coming at you from Precision Golf in Surrey. If you are new, this is a little segment that I'm now doing, giving people an opportunity to ask me questions on their golf swing to enable them to hit the ground running at the weekend. See if we can get everyone playing some great golf this weekend. Let's pop that into place where we can get a nice clear view of the screen. There we go, that's perfect. If you're watching, let me know where you're catching me from. Just on the back of my content day on a Friday. Just had a little live Zoom with one of my skillest clients, Bill, who's down in New Mexico. Got 10 of you on, welcome. Lawrence Green, hi Lawrence, nice to see you with me. Nice to see you with me. Just had a great session with young Christos. It's his 16th birthday, can't believe it. Where did that time go? Playing a tournament in a few weeks' time, which I'm hopefully going to film. So a bit of practice is coming in handy. Let me know where you're watching from. Always love to hear. Hopefully the chat's a bit better. That's a bit more like it, isn't it? Do you have a definite shallowing in the downswing, or is just transition? I think once you transition, that's the only moment when the head weight is trying to shallow and trying to move back behind you. That transition moment is when it shallows, and then from here it's all about steepening it, trying to steepen it so you can then get that golf club to deliver itself down here. If the club is shallow in transition and then all of the way down you are now steepening up the head, the more the head is working over here relative to the ball line, Lawrence. So there we are up at the top. There's the shallowing. And now, can you see how that club head is on the inside of that ball to target line? The height of the club head now allows you to feel that swing moment down through strike that will actually still give you a nice negative angle of attack. Let me just clean my camera here. Got a roof light above. It looks like I've got a halo. I like that. The sun shines on the righteous. So hopefully that gives you an opportunity or an understanding of how that works out, Lawrence. Let me see if I can clean that. If I can get that any less blurred. No, it's the roof light. That's all right. You can cope with that, folks. The content's good enough for you to cope with that. So let me know if that answered your question, Lawrence. Hopefully it did. So we've got another question coming in. Doug, hey Doug, what would be the reason for the strike to be drifting towards the heel on a 50-yard pitch up? Well, let's get the pitching wedge out. I did this earlier. So in my earlier live, talked about the handle track, and when you've got a pitch shot, it's so easy for a golfer to think about pushing the grip towards the target. As soon as you then start to feel like you're pushing the grip towards the target, and I've just knocked the TrackMan there. Let me just re-level that, or else we'll get some spurious data. It's so easy when you've got a pitch shot to get the grip moving towards the target. If I get the broom out, the magic broom, and I put the ball there, watch what happens when I drive that grip forwards. And I'm going to just make sure that you see that I'm driving it in a straight line. So there's the grip driving in a straight line. Look how it pulls the club away from the ball, and therefore the golfer will then drive forwards, have an open face and hit it out the heel. If, when you're pitching, you're really utilising your lead foot and feeling that energy, the wedge I've got here, using that energy to move the energy from the toe to the heel to open the heel up, the shoulder up, the hip up, to make the grip work back in, you'll start to pull the strike more towards the toe of the golf club. So you feel like the grip can work to the left because you're using the pressure in the grip and the left heel. You can then swing the club, if you've got a good grip, Doug, which I'm sure you have, you can now let that swing and look at how that shape in the wrist stays there. And that'll pull the strike out towards the toe. Hopefully that helps. Got Lawrence Green. After only one session with you, I gained 20 to 30 yards on my irons. Thank you. You are very welcome, Lawrence. Nice to hear. Matt M. Generally find I strike it off the toe. Any setup issues, swing issues that might cause that? Yeah, the trouble with the game is that you can hit it out of the toe and the heel by doing exactly the same error. It just depends on where the face is pointing to your path a lot of the time. If a golfer is a bit of a hooker, they'll tend to lift the grip up, push it out to the right, which offers up the heel. If someone's a bit of a fader of the ball, when they push the grip up and out, it tends to whip itself out of the toe. So that, first of all, if you're biased in one bend direction, so if you bend too much in one direction, I would go fixing that first rather than thinking about the strike, because where you're trying to push the grip through contact is trying to obviously reduce the shape in the sky. That will tend to pull your strike in the wrong direction. So I'd try and fix your face to path value first, because that often has such an impact on where you direct your sweet spot, which compromises your strike. Hopefully that helps you. Got 29 of you on. Thank you so much for being here. This is a regular live lounge session. If you're also new to Good Golf Coaching, I have got a WhatsApp community chat. It's read only, and there is going to give you all of the insights into what's going on at Good Golf Coaching and all of the stuff on my YouTube channel. I've got some really exciting content coming out. So head over to WhatsApp, or you can go to the posts page on my YouTube channel, the posts page, and you'll find the link there for the WhatsApp chat. It's free to join and it's read only, so it's no spammy stuff. It's all about good golf coaching. And the website is being updated as well, so there's lots going on there as well. So thanks for being with me. If you've got any questions about the swing, make sure you ask me. That's what I'm here for. Of course, you want me to hit shots as well, of course. I've got this new app that I seem to have figured out where I can get the chat up. Lee Dietrich's back. Asking 2 questions. Lee Dietrich. Let's see what Lee says. You are watching Lee from California. In transition, how far do the hands move out towards the target line? Forwards is confusing as it is towards the target. Well, in all of my content, I've always had the video from down the line when I've said forwards. So I don't find that confusing because forwards is in that direction because that's where I'm facing. As opposed to if I was having the camera in this direction, forwards would be to the left as well. So forwards is moving it to the grip line, to the target line. How much you can move it forwards will depend on how much you're controlling your face to path through strike. And depending on your grip will depend on what your face to path value will tend to be. So there's a lot of layers that go into moving the grip forwards. People want to drive normally straight onto the sexy stuff and they don't want to work out all of the layers that have gone on before that. So make sure you've got the right grip first before you come. And I remember you yesterday, Lee, not liking my comments on the Tommy Fleetwood follow through. Is there a constant distance out before the hands begin the move down in? No, there's not a constant distance, unfortunately, because everyone's taller, shorter, different leverage, different lag, different load, but it's definitely the direction that the energy is going in, Lee. Does it vary club? Yeah, because depending on how much angle of attack you want to put in. But the reality is, and this is what I stress all of the time, that everybody is focused on moving the grip down this way. You are always going to have down in your downswing, always. And when you move a light end down quickly, you make that shaft steeper. If you move that grip forwards, you make that shaft more shallow. Moving the grip down will steepen the shaft, and at that point, you've now got a club head that's falling over your grip too soon, which then makes the golfer have to tuck in and under. So that's why I dissuade people to my heart's content not to move the grip straight down. Hope that makes sense. Gary Satterfield, well done. Thank you for coming on, Gary. Hey, Stu, thanks for all the content. Do you ever go home? I do, but I still work at home, editing and all that kind of stuff. I love the game, love the chase. Robert Kazukas, good morning, Stuart. Good afternoon. It's 2:30 here in the UK. From Ontario. Ah, fantastic. Never been to Canada. Loving the content. Oh, thank you so much, Robert. Really appreciate that. Thank you for being with me, and thank you for the nice comments. Baptiste, hello. How to align effectively and not be trapped? Trapped, you mean inside? Well, to align properly will ultimately once again be dictated by your face to path value. So if you have a face to path value that is consistently open, so as I swing through and I have my face to path value, the box on the bottom right hand corner, a positive number, and I keep on aiming straight. Look at my club path. I'm aiming straight. My face to path value is open. Path is going relatively straight and the ball keeps on going to the right. It would be inhuman of me not to suddenly change my alignment down the left that would then accommodate that face to path value. So I aim down the left, my path is now 8.5 degrees to the left, my face to path is open at 5 degrees, so my alignment has adjusted itself to my face to path. Fix your face to path and you will be a long way to fixing your alignment. Hopefully that helps, Baptiste. Len, hi, good morning from Canada, Stuart. Hey Len, I've got your videos. I am going to be back to you a little bit later today. Thank you, Len. This is a new format, vertical live, where it's going to give me an opportunity to hit balls in the bay, going to be down the range, hitting shots, really get hands-on and really, hopefully, bond with a lot of you that follow my content and comment so often. So thank you, Len, for being here. Kev T, nice to see back to right-handed. I know, right? That video yesterday, I think, shocked a lot of people hitting left hand, so my apologies for that. Any chance of a short game session, 30 yards and in? Yeah, I'm going to do some short game stuff while I'm away, so stay tuned for that. I'm going to do some short game work while I'm out on the golf course, drone out and all that kind of jazzy stuff, so that'll be coming your way. Lee, you're very welcome, my friend. Agree, down does steepen shaft, not good, absolutely. Yeah, everybody is working on moving the grip down. So hopefully that all helps out. Thanks for being with me. Let me know where you're watching from. And just to let you all know, I've got myself a WhatsApp community channel. You can go over, it's free to join. Head over to WhatsApp, search Good Golf Coaching and you will find it, or head over to the posts page on my YouTube channel and you'll find a link on the posts page to click and join. Yep, so you'll be able to catch it there. So it'd be great to have you all there. It's read only, so it's not spammy or anything like that. So I hit some more shots here. Let's go back to hitting some draws. So I'm just working on being a little bit more deliberate with the pace of my backswing, which feels a little awkward to me. But it gives me the chance to move that weight around me nice and efficiently. I think it's a long weekend in the US this weekend, is that right? Bill, my last client, Skillis, was just telling me it's a long weekend. Oh, we've got RB, love the content. RB, thank you so much, really appreciate that. Any suggestions for aiming left? I always seem to pull hook it whenever I have to play to the left side, thanks. Any suggestions for aiming left? I always seem to pull hook it whenever I have to play to the left side. So pull hook, yeah, so that's a path outside in and a face to path value closed. That is a rare chemistry of a path left and a face to path closed. That normally comes from a very open club face. So I would work on getting the face to path actually stronger. One of those rare occasions that your face to path value is closing because your face is coming in open and the golfer is trying to close it down. So when it comes in that far open, the golfer is really trying to get their arms to close the face over, and you end up with a path too far left and a face too closed to that path, which is what you see up on the screen here. So you've got a path left at 6.4 and a face to path value at 8.8 shut, but my club face coming into the ball there was actually open. So I would really encourage you to look to the ingredients of making the face to path actually a little bit stronger, and that will help your pull to the left, which will then allow you to start to aim a little bit more neutral. Give that a try. Doug, go back to left hand. I'll never understand that dropping the arms fad. How do you get your hands back on their arc? You drop them behind you, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Lee Dietrich, is there a consistent time you do these sessions? No, there isn't. I am going to be doing them ad hoc when I fancy it, when I get a little bit of time. I think that's the beauty of them. So if I'm suddenly nip down the range, you're going to jump on and share some time with you. And that's why you want to keep on your notifications bell on your YouTube channel, and that way you'll be able to jump in or light up on your phone. Stuart is rambling on in a live lounge and I can help you with your golf. I thought that was just a really nice way. I thought about consistently doing it at a time. I do a Monday live with the Precision Golf channel, 6 p.m. every Monday, where we talk about the golf swing and club fitting. That's the only consistent time that I do a live. But these are going to be ad hoc, on a whim. Might even do a few from the bathtub. Joking. Nobody needs to see that. Nobody needs to see that. So. That felt a nice one. Thanks again for being with me, folks. Steve Tyson. Steve Tyson music. Oh, what do you play, Steve? Or is it just music that you're into? Love this stew. Cheers from West Palm Beach, Florida. Oh, I love a bit of Florida. I love a bit of Florida. I haven't been back there for a couple of years, but I'm coming to the US soon. That is the agenda. But can you believe I can't get a golf club to host me as a European coach? All I want to do is have a venue that I can turn up, run some clinics for my good golf coaching clients, and my agent in the UK can't get anywhere. Can't get anywhere. Europe, piece of cake. US, close shop. Difficult, which is very frustrating. But I will keep on pushing. I will keep on pushing. You can't keep me out of the US. You may try, but you can't keep me out. All right. Anything you want to see? Anything you want to see shot-wise? Happy to do it. Oh, they're feeling pretty good. They're feeling pretty good. They're feeling pretty good. All right, let's put some speed up. Let's see how fast we can hit a 7-iron. Place your bets, folks. Place your bets. Place your bets. How fast do you think I can get my 7-iron? Let's do a little speed. Let's keep the other data up for you. Let's put some carry up as well. I'm going completely against my 4 boxes. Club speed. Carry number. Let's see what we can get. Got to keep the face to path and angle of attack and all that sort of jazz consistent, haven't we? So this is 7-iron. Sorry, I can't have the boxes out of order. It always has to go angle of attack, face angle, club path. Sorry, club path, face angle, face to path. Any questions? Any new questions in? Oh yeah, we've got some new questions. Oh, got a few in. So, Baptiste T, thank you. We'll rebuild my yesterday question, sorry. Why do we have to find the most weighted clubs we can play, and how to determine that from Froggy's World, France? So, heavy golf clubs, in the same way as being in the gym. You reach a point where if the weight gets too heavy, you start to lose form. With a golf club, this is really light, but when it's swinging dynamically, it becomes much heavier. If you have something that's super light, you can manipulate that weight and find a good shot. Sign of a good fitting. But for me, I want to make the golf club a little bit too heavy, so that actually you have to keep form and function and move with weight to make the ball go straight. So the weight is just dependent on you. If you feel the club is just a little bit too heavy, that's where you want to be, rather than it feeling good. It feels like it wants to be a little bit of hard work, a little bit. And at that point, you've got yourself a nice weighted golf club. For me, that's my agenda. Peter Cantor, job to journey. Hi, Stu. Laid up with a virus and just switched this on with a cuppa and a ginger biscuit. Stop it, Peter. Love a ginger biscuit. How far? 176 carry. Yeah, that was a 175 carry, that one. 184. Going to get back to that in a moment. Robert Kuzukas. Hey, Stuart. Hey, Robert. Is it safe to say because of your appropriate spine angle, you are not pulling your hands forward, but hands are staying perpendicular to the spine towards the ball line? That would be prudent to say, yeah, absolutely. Moving the grip forwards is just simply working it back down the angle that the shaft is pitched on. Absolutely. RB, can you please show a punch shot and the setup behind it? Punch shot. So So you can hit a punch shot in many ways. You can move the ball back in your stance. Keep all things equal, make a swing, and off she goes. You want to aim a little bit more left because the face-to-path value is going to increase, more positive, because the swing circle needs to go a little bit more to the left to create all things equal. Or you can just accelerate the grip a little bit more on the way through, make the handle a little bit lower, right shoulder a little bit higher, which will then make the ball a little bit lower. Personally, I prefer the second one. But those are the two ways of doing it. So the first one, ball is back in the stance, and then you're going to make a swing where you can get the ball coming out low, angle of attack at 11.8 down, path from the inside at 4.2, face shut to path. Now I can make that 11.8 degrees of angle of attack down with the ball in my usual stance and just make myself move a little differently and bring that angle of attack down, not quite as much, 7 degrees. Let's go again. Let's go again. For me, I find it much easier to keep the ball on line, doing it in my standard ball position, because it feels like I'm not getting trapped with the ball being too far back in my stance. Personally, that would be the way to do it. So you can see, 8.5 is a hefty amount down. That's the way I would play low punch shots rather than dropping it back in the stance. For me, I would just keep it in the same spot and just use your right shoulder and your right arm a little bit more down through strike here. So I'd find myself a little bit more over this way to create that lower traj and that reduced dynamic loft. Hopefully that helps you. RB, can you please, RB's done that one, job to journey. PS, can you sort out local boy Penge's wedge so he can take more advantage of his amazing drives? That's up to Marco. PS, can you sort, yeah, done that. Any drills to help angle of attack? Help angle of attack, yeah. Angle of attack improvements come from, first of all, making sure you have a face-to-path value that's correct. If you've got a weak face-to-path positive, that will stop you from having an angle of attack. Because if I have a weak face-to-path and I hit more down, the ball will fade to the right. So get your face-to-path more negative to start with, and then what you need to do is make your right shoulder catch up with your left shoulder more. If you make your right shoulder catch up with your left hip more, this will create more angle of attack. If you make the gap between your left hip and your right shoulder more, you can see the gap has increased. So the gap with my hip and my shoulder has increased. This will reduce your angle of attack. Making the gap smaller, this will increase your angle of attack. It's that simple. Do that, you'll be hitting down and creating ball compression like Billy-O. Ross H, how do you get iron impact hands appear on lead leg rather than back leg? How do you get iron impact hands appear on lead leg rather than, I do it by moving my left foot back, i.e. putting pressure in my left foot to push my left foot back so that I can make my right shoulder move forwards. So now I can make my hands appear more on my lead leg. When golfers have pushed historically forwards with their trail leg, it sits them back and gets the club unloading back this way. Push the hip back, I push the shoulder forwards, now all of a sudden the hand sits more in with the lead leg. Hopefully that helps you. All right, well, let's see if we can get these irons faster. So I think it was 87, the last one. That was me just doing some drills. So I'm not going to change the speed of my backswing. I'm just going to pull harder. Pull harder and push harder with my left leg. Up to the top. And I'm going to pull harder. What have we got to start with? 91. 91, that'll do. 95 would be a nice number, wouldn't it? For a 7-iron. Nice and slow. Pull. Nice and slow. What have we got? Any faster? 93, come on. 93, 187 carry. Can we get to 95? Can we get to 95? Nice and slow. And pull. Nice and slow. Oh, that might be 95. Come on, Stu. Oh, 93. All that effort. All that effort. How many have we got on? Almost 40 people. Welcome to the show. If you're new to good golf coaching, where have you been, first of all? And if you are new, head over to WhatsApp. Search Good Golf Coaching and join my community WhatsApp channel. It's read only, but you'll hear all of the stuff that's going on with Good Golf Coaching over the coming 12 months and more, of course. Oh, just got to pull it hard, people. Oh, slower. Okay. Man up, Stuart. Come on, man up. Man up. Man up. I want to get 95 minimum. This is the one. It's a bit right, that one. Held myself at it. 93. 93. Come on, just need to find 2 miles an hour. I've got a question in. Rishi, hey Rishi, nice to see you. Hi, could you explain thoracic mobility in the golf swing and any ideas how you make improvements issued with left hand depth? How you could explain thoracic mobility. So thoracic mobility is having more mobility through this part of the spine, making sure that you've got more rotation. The more you keep the shape of your spine, the more you keep the shape of your spine, and this is where it becomes a bit of a bone of contention. TPI will be all about flat back, and someone like a pull check will all be about an S-shaped spine. Now, depending on which side of the line that you want to sit, what your shape of spine wants to look like, the more chance you have of a good shape of spine, the more chance you'll have mobility through the mid-back. For me, keeping the shape of your spine and pushing off of it, so whether you feel it flat back or S-shape, so look at my base of my spine, depending on that, will then start to change the way the top of your spine works. But keeping that shape through your golf swing and not rounding off will ultimately mobilize the top of your spine. How much your shoulders work, how much your shoulders change shape. So if my right shoulder hitches up, my left shoulder hitches up, this changes thoracic mobility and the shape of the spine. So there's lots of ways about mobilizing your spine, and a lot of it comes down to where the grip is trying to move. And where you get that grip moving will ultimately change the way the ball's going to shape. So the more neutral you can become in your ball flight, the more chance you'll have of keeping form and function with your upper body, lower body, and using your feet. So thoracic mobility is really form and function, keeping the four corners, your right hip, right shoulder, left shoulder, more in shape. The more that we start to compromise these shapes, the more that we create too much side bend in the top of the spine and not enough rotation. So yes, thoracic has some mobility sideways, but ultimately we're always trying to make our column rotate. So thoracic mobility comes from having good shape of the spine throughout the swing and making sure that the shoulders sit down on the rib cage and they don't compromise side bend. Hopefully that gives you some insight. Everyone is different, of course. depending on how restricted you are, depending on what that's led to with your golf swing, what you believe in with your golf swing. Unfortunately, it's not, oh, just do this for thoracic mobility and you'll be okay. If you want to just improve thoracic mobility, loads of exercises out there to do that. But if you then come and work on a golf swing that compromises that mobility and then starts to jam it up, you've got two directions beating themselves against each other. And we see it all the time. We've got Stu Robinson, he's our chiropractor here at Precision Golf. He will work with people, get them fit and healthy, and then I see some of the things that golfers can work on. It's like they're going to be back in 6 weeks' time because they're going to be hurt again. So, you know, how we use our body in the golf swing can be compromised so easily, and we become injured, and that injury then becomes more restricted. So hopefully that gives you some insights on it. Gary Satterfield, Stu, what would be one of your best tips for getting off your right side? Getting off your right side in your backswing or your downswing? If you're trying to get off your right side in your downswing, for me, you haven't loaded your left side enough in your backswing. I'm going to hit one more 7-iron, and then I'm going to wish you all a happy Friday. Come on, Stuart. Let's get 95 miles an hour. Could it be the one? Alas not. Thank you all so much for joining me on this Friday Live Lounge. You all have a fantastic weekend. David Royce, hello David. Thank you so much for being here. Stuart, thanks again for this opportunity. We're pushing off prematurely with the lead foot contribute to over the top. We'll put, no, not really. Having the club shaft out of balance at the top will cause you more over the top issues than pushing off your lead side. Absolutely. If you want to find out more about that, take a look at my backswing series. That will really change the way that balance of the shaft will work in transition and allow that lead foot to work appropriately. Thanks everyone, really appreciate you being here, and hopefully you've enjoyed this time with me. I know I've enjoyed it with you, and I look forward to all seeing you soon. Have a great weekend.